What's up guys, Bricks here, back again for another video. Today we'll be taking a look at Seeker Sunday episode 4 or 5, I can't remember. Deathsaurus. Now, I know what this looks like, and how I said in the first Seeker Sunday episode, which was Ironclad, they're not combiners. And technically, he's not. These four, none of these technically have individual robot modes. The lore behind Deathsaurus is when he crashed, he and Dragonstorm got into a huge fight, and Dragonstorm won, and Deathsaurus was ripped to pieces. So the Scrapticons, this combiner, found his body, he bonded with them, forming effectively a Energon or Cybertron combiner. One mind controlling 5 bodies. We'll start by taking a look at each component individually, starting with the mixer. It's just a simple little truck build. Not super difficult, or not super detailed. He's got 2 mixing drums, and they can pour. Also notice he has a little light bar underneath. But yeah, when you can now pose the truck, as that is just a ball joint. But when it's up like that, you can't really pose it, because it's in its transport mode. But yeah, it's a really simple little build. They all are. Next we have the vehicle transport. I actually almost forgot a small detail about this, so I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, I just forgot this little 1x2 plate. I recently updated these, and so yeah, it makes sense that I forgot. But yeah, he's a simple car carrier. You got the ramp, which can pose, and then I'll just bring back the mixer. As you can see, he can carry some of the others. Okay, so I guess the bed has to be angled. Yeah, you can carry the others by resting the ball joint that connects the two halves on top of the ramp. But yeah, other than that, he's just a simple little build. About exactly the same size. The mixer's taller because of the mixing drums. Yeah, simple little build. Next we have the dump truck, who's probably my least favorite, just due to how I had to make the bucket. But it can dump. Fortunately, it does have to be small because of the scale of the vehicle. But he also has a light bar underneath, only it's blue instead of yellow. Yeah, just a simple little dump truck. And finally, for the mini, we have my favorite, the crane truck. As you can see, there is this little crane section mounted to the back, and you can rotate it and angle the crane arm for picking things up. Now, it's only connected by a jumper, so it's not super stable, but that was the best way I could figure. And then he's got this angleable engine block, which rests on top of this jumper, helping to kind of conceal it. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite. He's also the tallest due to the crane arm, how it sits in transport mode. But yeah, they're all roughly the same size, at least. Basically, they're all the same mold. As you can see here, they're all the same mold. Minifig for scale. So yeah, they're not exactly the largest or the smallest. But that's only 4 of the components. Next, we have the 5th, who is considerably larger. Whoops. Like, compared to even the excavator, he is huge. Bring back in that minifig. So the reason why he fought Dragonstorm is because, if I flip this over, you may notice it, he's built similarly. Dragonstorm and Deathsaurus are both mech formers. Basically, they have an extra mode where they could be piloted by a smaller Cybertronian or human. But yeah, Big Rig, he forms this giant excavator, or bulldozer thing. You got this big old blade on the front, 2 small light bars, and the windshield. But yeah, his vehicle modes are pretty simple. I understand this portion took a bit longer than I wanted to, but thankfully transformation is pretty simple. We'll start with the limbs. So he is a Combiner Wars style combiner, meaning that any 2 of these can form the arms and any 2 can form the legs. I'm going to pick probably these 2 for the legs. The legs are pretty simple. Just fold up the back attachment, and then you're going to want to bring this guy back in and pull off these small gray sections of the blade, which I will admit are actually angleable. Pull those off. You end up with these bits, and then you detach them like this. These are going to form the hands and feet. The original combiner didn't have this, but the new one needs this because otherwise he's not stable enough. Yeah, the knees just attach in the back. They form the heels, give them a more stable base. Like so. So yeah, there we have the legs. For the arms, fold up this, rotate like so. And then the hand will just, these 2 studs will peg onto the front and fold up like so. For this guy, you can't really do the exact same thing. But I haven't combined him since updating this, so I guess we'll see. Next, we'll bring back in the big guy. Start with, we're going to collapse this section up, and you may be able to tell what this is. It's not exactly difficult. Next, we're going to flip out these sections and fold them up, out, and around like that. And fold back these to form like some wings. Next, no, wait, I already don't rotate that. Next, flip back the bucket and fold down these. Those will form the leg ports. And then, flip open, we'll move the light bars first. Flip open the chest cavity. Very similar to Dragonstorm, flip out the combined mode head. And then angle those down. But yeah, there's the torso. And then the legs will just peg on to here. Ball joints, so he's pretty sturdy. And since you can kind of use the bucket tail thing to help balance. And the arms peg onto there like that. And like that. I'm going to fold up the crane arm on the excavator. But yeah, there you have the first, or second technically mode, robot mode. This is the original combiners, the Scrapticons, or Deathsaurus' robot mode. Yeah, he's a pretty stocky bot. He's really well built. His arms are a bit lanky. Scale next to the minifigure. But other than that, he looks really, really good. I do like it. Let's just immediately jump to articulation. Head on a double hinge, so we can look all the way back. Ooh, that section does come loose sometimes. I don't really know why. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, you can look down. And yeah. The shoulders can go out that far. And they can rotate. They can technically go out on a double joint. It popped off again. Like so. So yeah, you've got a ball joint at the shoulder and then in and out joint here. You've got bicep and potentially an elbow bend. I don't know if it's too high or not. but then you also have a bend here and a swivel at the lower arm. And this moves, and if I can grab it, he has wrist swivel. So he can hold things like the Star Saber, which I have here. Here's the Star Saber. He can hold that. It's not actually his weapon, but he can hold similar items. Just put that over there for now. Next, for the legs, he does have a waist swivel. Can do a full 360. Legs can go forward that far. Oh gosh. And then they can go, I move the bucket backwards that far. And then you have in and out and a swivel there, because ball joint. You have a swivel here, knee bend. For some reason, this is much looser than the waist joint. I might have to swap those around. But yeah, you have a bend and a swivel there, and then a bend, tilt, and a swivel at the ankle. So yeah, much like Dragonstorm, he's actually really posable. You can get him into some good poses. However, we're not quite done with him. That is a strange look. He has one more mode. So to start transforming him into Deathsaurus' Seeker Beast mode, start by opening the chest cavity, folding the head back in, and take this section and flip it up and over. In case you can't tell, that will form the head. Next, we're going to T-pose. That likes to come off. T-pose. Give enough clearance to tuck the wing flaps underneath, and then rotate the waist. So we should look like this. We will do the legs, the rear legs. Take these, and you're going to want to align the. I'm going to have to. So you're going to take this jumper, and it will peg into the middle of the anti-studs on the light bar here. It takes a bit of finagling, but you should end up with something like this, and then do that on the other side. You've got the cement mixer drums, and then the bucket as well, facing forward. And those are going to form your legs. The blade will form his tail. Next, you'll want to fold these up and around. And the arms follow a similar process. Rotate, rotate, fold up. Then the attachment folds down to form this like hand. Form a hand. And this, yeah. This, fold this up. That's already folded down. And then what I'm going to do is swing the bucket or the crane arm to the side. Get them all stabilized, all the limbs on the ground. Pull that off. Just trying to adjust. There we go. And then the hands will just fold up and peg onto the wings. Alternatively, you could attempt to fit them into the chest cavity. I think it looks better like this. This is what I prefer. But yeah, there we have Deathsaurus in beast mode. He really does just shrink, as you can see. But this makes more sense since Deathsaurus traditionally transforms into a bird dragon thing. But yeah, so for his articulation, you got up and down, and an articulated jaw, which is just on a hinge. So he can mouth off. Interesting detail to note is Dragonstorm actually scarred one of his eyes, which is why it looks different from the other. You got forward, you got back, you have in, out, and then you have that hinge there. I don't know why I'm doing this. He has basically all the same articulation, minus this joint. So the legs only have one joint. They don't have ankles. But you get two ball joints for the tail. But yeah, other than that, that's basically it for Deathsaurus. Overall, I think he's one of my favorites, and get this, he was the first Transformer I ever, or first OC Transformer I ever built. He was the original. Well, without the beast mode, of course. And his design was a lot different. And he parts formed a lot. But yeah, that's been my look at Seeker Sunday, episode 5, I think. Deathsaurus. Subscribe for more content like this, and comment and let me know if there's any official sets, or if you have any other designs you want me to review, or if you want me to start reviewing official Transformers stuff, which I will do. But yeah, like, subscribe. At 100 subscribers, I will be doing my Metroplex, and at 1,000, I will be reviewing my version of the Decepticon Ultimate Weapon. But yeah, other than that, I will see you all in the next video. Seeker Sunday episode 5 or 6. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this is episode 4, by the way. Anyway, so long, fellas.